One could say that we are in sync, not the boy band per se.
It's gonna be May.
We're in sync with our shirts. And one could say in some ways BYU football and BYU men's basketball are in sync. Jarom both finished number 13 in the final AP poll. Both had unexpectedly incredible seasons. It's been a busy offseason for both of those sports, and we have a loaded edition of what's trending today as we will play buy, sell, or hold on a myriad of topics. Well, I like that twist.
Okay, then.
First up, how about this? ESPN's Joe Lunardi has released his first edition of 2026 NCAA Tournament Bracketology. And naturally, we're going to look to see where BYU is. Lunardi has Kevin Young and the Cougars as a 2 seed.
Wow.
A 2 seed.
Wow.
Buy, sell, or hold, Jarom. BYU will be a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament next season.
I love it. I am going to hold it. I'm going to hold it because right now, if BYU's 5 or 6 among most national dudes in what they're putting out, that makes sense, right? You're on the 2 seed line. So I'm going to hold on that, and that's pretty exciting. He has BYU playing Idaho in the first round, and then they would play the winner of Mississippi State, Marquette, Indiana. I know it's April 29th, but if BYU does have as good of a team as we think they have, they could earn their way into a very favorable Sweet 16 position by a great regular season. That's what 2011 did by getting a 3 seed. The greatest seed BYU's ever had is have a great regular season, get you a high seed, and then get you games that are favorable. In 2011, it was a 14 seed Wofford, and then St. John's lost to Gonzaga in the 6-11, so 11 seed Gonzaga. Boom, you beat 14-11. Oh, no. You're supposed to. You did that. It was great. It was exciting. Then you get to the Sweet 16, and maybe it's a 3 seed Florida.
Yeah.
Now it's a real game, right? And there are upsets in the tourney. No one's immune unless you were a 1 seed this last year, getting to the Final Four. Everyone got in. That was rare, first time since 08. So this is pretty exciting. I'm going to hold on a 2 seed because I like that. But I want to see kind of how the team gels and how it comes together and what everything looks like in March.
An understandable approach, and one that I typically would hop on board with. But it's time I learned my lesson.
Oh, it is?
I have held on certain things as it pertains to BYU basketball and Kevin Young. And, well, let's see if they can get to a Sweet 16. And, okay, yeah, it's a good recruiting class, but can it gel together? The answers and all accords have been an affirmative with multiple exclamation points, yes. And so it's time that I'm just buying in on this.
You're going to buy. So you think they can get up to a 1, maybe?
If they have a magical season, sure. I'm not ready to buy BYU as a number 1 seed, but I'm ready to buy BYU as a number 2 seed. I don't think it's that crazy. They're coming off a Sweet 16 campaign, and the roster has been upgraded. Not just a little, a lot. Like, that's tough to do. BYU had an awesome roster last season, and I feel like it has had a significant uptick. And I trust Kevin Young. I trust his staff. I trust the momentum of the program. I trust the support behind it. I need to learn my lesson. I am buying this, buying BYU as a 2 seed. The only thing that gives me hesitation here is if the committee approaches BYU and is like, well, how much are we going to accommodate there? Once again, no Sunday play situation.
It depends on where they are in the seed line and whatnot, because it didn't affect BYU this last year.
No, it did the previous year. It knocked BYU down from the top 5 seed, 4 spots to the top 6 seed, which was not favorable, even though the matchup seemed favorable. Whatever. Like, it could happen. It's not a guarantee that it'll happen, but that gives me a little bit of pause. But I am buying that BYU will be in position to earn a number 2 seed. Whether the committee gives it to them or not because of seeding and sliding, I don't know. But I'm buying it, Jarom. I think, which is crazy. I'm hesitant. Again, I need to tell myself, like, just trust what you have seen. Trust the process of Kevin Young. He literally coached for the 76ers. Trust the process.
Yeah, exactly. He was an assistant there, I think, during that time. That's crazy. Okay.
Is this overly ambitious?
No, because BYU has a roster that's top 10, so a 1 seed's possible. A 1, 2, 3 is possible. Riddle me this. If we zoom forward and BYU gets a 4 seed, is that good enough, given how good the roster is?
It's hard to complain about a 4 seed.
Right?
That's difficult to
But our expectations are getting pretty high for this. This team could be as good as go to the Final Four and win the national championship. They have the pieces to do it. Like, what are they really missing there? Certainly, they need to add some depth in the front court a little bit, and they'll get some experience there in the back court. But you have 3 or 4 of the guys with maybe 5 with very NBA-like attributes.
You've got 3 all Big 12 first-team players on your team.
Yeah, you have 3 dudes that should be 3 of the top 15 players in the league. Like first, if they do a 10-player first team, I think we expect 2 or 3 of those guys to be on it.
I got to learn my lesson, Jarom, and so I am going on record here. I am buying this.
Okay.
Trust the process.
Here we go. Second one. The Athletics' Dane Brugler has BYU's Keanu Tanavasa going 29th overall in his way too early 26 NFL draft. Buy, sell, or hold, Keanu Tanavasa will be a first-round pick next season.
Whoa. A little big-time football here. I am hold on this because it's only one guy. I need more. I need to see more mock projections. Not saying that Keanu can't do this. He is an incredible talent. And if you talk to anybody that's been in and around BYU football during spring practice, they will tell you he has elite footwork. His twitch is next level. He looks every bit the part of an NFL defensive lineman. He will be drafted. I think he will be at worst a day 2 guy. But in the first round, we saw this with Kingsley Suamataia a couple of years ago when he started to show up in multiple first-round draft projections, and ultimately it didn't happen. Not that Kingsley wasn't awesome, because he was, and he had a relatively good season. A borderline great season. He still got drafted. But I need to see more, and for me to feel confident the Keanu's going to go in the first round, I probably need to see multiple mock projections say that he's a top 20 pick, because it's just such a wild card, dude. Like, if he's 29, I don't know how the teams and the GMs are going to, like, view him. He could easily slide into the 3rd round and be the next Fred Warner.
And that's still awesome.
Fred Warner was a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, first round is amazing. Like, he could be a first-rounder. He's got to be one of the top 4 defensive tackles in the country, which he very well could be. I'm going to sell just because we don't even know if he's coming out next year, let alone the year after that. He has 2 years to play. And he could very well be a first-round guy. He could be a 2nd or 3rd-round guy. To me, there's not a huge difference. I know there is a difference, but the point is, are you drafted first day, 2nd day? That's great. 3rd day is kind of, there's a gap there between those guys in the first 2 days. He could very well be a first-rounder, but I'm excited to watch him. Like, I just want to see him play in a BYU uniform. I want to see him be the best D tackle since fill in the blanks at BYU. I hope he's even better than Kyrus Tonga was.
Yeah.
Like, he has the capability to do that.
Mechanically speaking, in terms of football dynamics, his first step is a first-round grade. Everybody talks about Keanu's first step and how twitchy it is.
And he needs to play, like, most of the season. Last year, played in 7 games. So
yes.
The year before that, he played in every game, I believe. So.
Durability is another reason to kind of hold.
Yeah. I just want to see it. I'm more Thomas in this one. Gotta see it before I believe it a little bit. I am excited, like you, to see Keanu play, and I believe that he will have first-round projections during the season.
Okay.
Based on his great play during the year.
Jarom is a sell for the moment.
I'm a sell for the moment.
I'm a hold, but we both agree Keanu looks the part of BYU's next high-level NFL draft pick. With that in mind, we just talked about Keanu. There are other NFL prospects on BYU's roster that will be hot topics going into the 2026 draft. Buy, sell, or hold that Chase Roberts is BYU's. Oh, sorry. Let's get to the Hans Olsen shot to set this up.
Well, I'm hoping that Chase Roberts has the season that I'm expecting him to have. And I think Chase will be that guy. Outside of that, it's going to be probably Keanu Tanavasa, the defensive tackle that BYU just acquired from the University of Utah.
Okay, Hans sets it up. He believes that Chase is the guy, Jarom.
Yeah, I don't think Chase is a day 1 or day 2 guy going into next year.
Keanu is.
I believe Keanu
if he opts to go out.
Yes, he's got to show some things, like we said.
But buy, sell, or hold that Chase is BYU's 2nd best NFL draft prospect.
So Isaiah Glasker is that for me right now. I think Isaiah is going to be potential next backer at BYU that makes an impact. Like, as an outside guy, he really reminds us of Kyle Van Noy with the numbers that he's putting up. He was a wide receiver, safety at Bingham. He's gained 51 pounds, and dude can still fly around. Like, he is the next Fred Warner, Kyle Van Noy type in the NFL. I'm not saying he's going to switch to middle linebacker and be the best middle linebacker in the NFL. I'm just saying that type of guy who could get drafted in the late day 2, early day 3 kind of guy. To me, he's the second best prospect BYU has right now. Jack Kelly's in the mix there. Chase Roberts obviously is in the mix. But to say that Chase is number 2 right now for me, I would say it's Isaiah Glasgow.
Chase is BYU's best offensive NFL prospect.
Yes.
No doubt about it. But I am with you. I'm hold on Chase. I'm buy on Isaiah Glasgow because of his length and athleticism. His ability to cover reminds me a lot of Fred Warner. BYU's defensive staff, Jay Hill, they have no problem putting Isaiah on a smaller, faster slot receiver. We've seen it.
They play nickel a bunch, and they'll take the middle linebacker out, and then you put Jack Kelly and Isaiah Glasgow out there.
They have no problem with Isaiah matching up against guys like that, and for good reason. So to see the way that he has a nose for the ball, certainly has a nose for the end zone. Saw pick 6 last year.
Nose for dancing right here. Wait for it.
He just has that innate ability to make football plays. That's the Kyle Van Noy factor, right? He just like,
I'm going to make a play. Make a play.
I'm going to make a play.
Yep.
So I'm with you. I buy on Isaiah Glasgow as BYU's second best NFL draft prospect. It's hard to find his size and athleticism and ability to cover.
The hope, too, is that Andrew Gentry and Isaiah Jada develop into tackles that could be interesting in the NFL at the next level, because they certainly have the size and the pedigree. So, I think there's some good NFL prospects sitting in there. Hopefully, Siale Acera has a monster year, and he is an interesting guy. And there will be others that emerge.
Yeah.
Maybe some BYU safeties and corners at some point.
What is Jack Kelly, right? In
Yes.
the NFL prospect.
He feels like a middle linebacker to me. I know he plays outside for BYU, but he feels like your traditional NFL middle, where he's like more 240, 250, but can still move.
Is there an off-the-radar guy? Can one of the running backs like go to another level?
That'd be nice. The next Jamal Williams type here. Yeah.
1,000-yard rusher. Like,
I don't think
BYU have that.
I don't think BYU is going to have a 1,000-yard rusher for a while. I just think they have too many good backs that they can use in diverse ways. I just don't think LJ is going to get enough carries to get 1,000.
Can Chase Roberts be a 1,000-yard receiver?
If he's healthy, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to get him the rock consistently. It's hard to get 1,000 yards. Let's go. Okay, next up, buy, sell, or hold. Men's basketball will have more draft picks in the 26th draft than BYU football. We've never asked this question. You brought it up the other day. This is an intriguing question.
We just step back and embrace that question. it's a reality here for BYU sports.
What?
BYU hasn't had an NBA draft pick. Yegor Damian's going to be the guy.
Yes.
Since Jimmer. It's been 14 years since they've had one.
Way too long, man.
But there is a legitimate case that men's basketball could produce more draft picks next season than football.
Let's break that down a little bit. So we know AJ is going to be a top 5 guy. He might be the number 1 guy.
Richie Saunders, can he elevate into mid-second round?
Can he be a second-round guy or late first? Would Robert Wright III have such a good year that he bounces after 1 year and he is a draft pick? Is there another guy on the roster?
Unnamed 4-star transfer.
Perhaps. Or is Diamande such a good 3-and-D guy with length and he's still young that he goes and he's in the second round? You never know. You never know.
I am inclined to buy that BYU men's basketball will have more draft picks than football next season.
So you think there will be multiple, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Now football may only produce 1.
Yes, because I'm not even sure if Keanu Tanavas is going to go to the NFL draft.
Right. But
he's BYU's best prospect.
We know that Glasgow, Kelly, Roberts will all be seniors and done after next year.
We thought that Tyler Batty and Caleb Etienne were almost shoo-ins to get drafted.
They weren't.
We might feel the same. We might feel the same about Isaiah Glasgow and Jack Kelly. They both have, like, if those guys have between 4th and 7th round grades, we're like, yeah, feeling good. The draft is so weird sometimes.
No.
It's disappointing, frankly, sometimes.
It's crazy how many of the SEC and Big Ten players were selected. They dominated the draft. Like, there is a gap. Big 12 is just trying to get on the podium and get the bronze there.
Yeah.
Right now.
But
the draft is every school for itself. It's not really a league thing.
Yes.
But I just wanted to point out that.
I am leaning towards basketball in this conversation. I don't know if I'm ready to buy it.
Because we know AJ's in the draft. We don't know anyone in BYU football will be drafted. But I would take football in this, though. I would. Because I just think there are more prospects. Obviously, the roster's bigger, and you're seeing a couple guys like Keanu Tanuvasa. If he has a monster year, he should probably go, right? These guys have goals of getting to the next level, and if they have that chance, like you should go strike while the iron's hot. If it's going to be good for you. For Richie, he can make more money being at BYU, so that makes more sense for him to come back.